Icy roads made driving dangerous across the Bluegrass this morning, and we could have similar problems tonight. See what drivers had to deal with during the morning commute.
Little round of light snow, as Jennifer mentioned, coming into town late tonight, early in the day on Thursday. Up next, we'll pinpoint who has the best chance for seeing a light accumulation.
Also ahead, overwhelming demand for the new issue of a French magazine released for the first time since gunmen attacked the magazine's offices in a deadly terror attack.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
We're following two breaking stories this afternoon. Both are in central Kentucky. We begin here in Lexington, where emergency crews are on the scene of a deadly crash. This is a live look at the scene on Versailles Road at Terrace View Drive. We know two cars collided about 40 minutes ago. Police say one of the drivers has died. Two people in the other car were taken to the hospital. We don't know the extent of their injuries. Police tell us Versailles Road between Terrace View and Garrett Avenue will be closed for hours and will continue to monitor that crash. We're also tracking a breaking news alert out of Clark County, where a child has been injured after being hit by a school bus. It happened around 3:15 this afternoon on US 60 near Clintonville Road between Lexington and Winchester. WKYT's Jordan Valines is live on the scene with the breaking details.
That's right. We've just learned that a young boy around 6 or 7 years old was getting off of a Clark County school bus to go into a daycare nearby. And for some reason, the young boy tripped and his coat or backpack got snagged underneath one of the bus tires, and the school bus driver didn't realize it. Now, deputies with the Clark County Sheriff's Office say the school bus driver started driving while the young boy was still stuck and ended up dragging the child about 15 to 20 feet down Highway 1678 off Lexington Road. The child has suffered road rash, we've been told, as well as scratches to his face, and has been taken to UK Hospital for his injuries. Now, at this time, it's unclear whether or not the school bus driver will be penalized for these actions, and officials are not releasing the driver's name at this point. Now, we'll have more on this developing story, of course, coming up for you at 5 o'clock. Live in Clark County, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
We will have more on the person killed in the Lexington crash and the boy that was hit by the bus on WKYT News at 5, and we will also have continuous updates on WKYT.com. Well, you may see some snow flurries this afternoon, and it could be a sign of things to come. The next round of light snow could come tonight. Here's a live look at the EKU campus in Richmond. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking the snow threat on First Alert Defender. Chris?
Yeah, good look there at the actual Morehead State University campus that we were showing you there. And cloudy skies, had a few snowflakes around there. And that's going to be a sign, as Jennifer mentioned, of some things to come later tonight and into the first part of tomorrow. We're looking at a broad view of live First Alert Defender. A lot of clouds that are out there. And the farther west and southwest that we go, we're seeing just a hint now of some moisture trying to come together across parts of Missouri, back into Kansas and Oklahoma. That is a little light snow streak that will develop and roll eastward, and of course Kentucky is east from there. That'll scoot in here very late tonight, more than likely coming up early tomorrow morning. A little break in the clouds across parts of central Kentucky. That's why we're seeing some filtered sunshine that is out there for now. Live First Alert Defender has nothing that is going on across central and eastern Kentucky, but that little band of some light snow coming up Thursday morning, mainly along and south of Interstate 64. Now, it can put down a small amount of accumulation. I'm talking about ½ inch, maybe less than that, in a narrow ribbon, but it may be just enough with temperatures in the 20s to create some slick spots. Now, coming up in a few minutes, Jennifer, when we come back, we will talk about who has the best shot of seeing a small amount of snow first thing tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Chris. And tonight, drivers could run into a similar problem from this morning. The cold temperatures and leftover moisture made travel tricky with black ice. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is in Madison County, where police worked dozens of crashes. It's our top story at 4.
Police say an accident here on Lexington Road involving 5 vehicles was caused by slick roads, and it's just one of many that happened around Madison County this morning.
I was sliding most of the way up through here this morning. Not until you were actually driving on it, and when you start to hit your brakes, then you noticed it.
Regina Hensley is just one of 5 drivers that ran off this slick road around 8:30 this morning. She was taking her 2 children to school when she swerved to miss a traffic backup that police say was caused by another accident further down the road. Hensley's car and 1 other didn't have much damage, but 3 others drove off the road and right into each other. 2 of those vehicles only had a driver inside, but the 3rd was carrying 5 people, including some kids. Deputies say the slick conditions caused more than a dozen accidents around the county this morning.
They've put salt down, so it's not as slick as it was earlier this morning. Now, when I first started this morning, this road was a solid sheet of ice, as was many roads in Richmond.
Police say a woman and 2 children that were in one of the vehicles were taken to a hospital just as a precaution. In Madison County, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
The Madison County Rescue Squad estimates they worked at least 25 vehicle-involved crashes just before 10 this morning. Icy roads causing a close call with a school bus in Breathitt County in eastern Kentucky this morning. Take a look at these eyewitness photos sent to us from the River Caney area, where the school bus slid off an ice-covered gravel road. One wheel went over an embankment. In this photo, you can see a steep drop-off where the bus slid off the road. Breathitt County schools say 10 students were on that bus, but no one was injured. Another bus came to take the students to school. You'll hear from parents and the state manager coming up in our next half hour. We're working on a number of other stories for WKYT at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. A Central Kentucky man was sent to the hospital with severe burns, and a home was destroyed after an overnight fire. It happened near Stony Point and Winchester Road in Bourbon County. Firefighters say the fire started in a fireplace about 1:30 this morning. When neighbors saw the flames, they were worried the victim had not made it out.
Very nerve-wracking last night. It was very upsetting. Our whole house was awake and worried for John because it was a terrible fire and we didn't look like maybe anybody could have gotten out of it.
Neighbors identified the man as John Hazelrig. We're told he's in serious condition at UK Hospital with burns to his hands and back. You'll hear more from that neighbor coming up on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. A Central Kentucky man is charged with holding a woman at gunpoint and tattooing a vulgar word on her back. Michael Aaron Joseph from Lawrenceburg has been indicted on multiple charges. Police say it happened after Joseph became jealous and accused the victim of contacting her ex-boyfriend. We'll tell you what's next for Joseph coming up on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. And that's a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Sam. Now to stories making headlines around the world at 4. The new issue of France's Charlie Hebdo magazine is already sold out, despite a dramatic increase in circulation. But as the people of France continue to recover, a key terror group has claimed responsibility for the attack on the satirical magazine. Sunlan Sarfati has the latest.
Within minutes of hitting newsstands across France, the new issue of Charlie Hebdo was gone.
I went to the newspaper store at 8 in the morning and they told me that they had only 100 copies and they sold everything in 15 minutes.
The new issue was released exactly 1 week after terrorists laid siege at the magazine's Paris headquarters, killing 12. On Wednesday, a major terror group released a video claiming responsibility.
The intelligence community has now determined that the AQAP video is authentic.
AQAP, or Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, claimed the attack was years in the making. The State Department is taking the video seriously.
We're still looking at every piece of information to determine, exactly the links here between the attackers and AQAP, particularly specific members of AQAP, like you noted, Anwar al-Awlaki.
AQAP stopped short of taking credit for the hostage crisis at a kosher grocery store days later, where another attacker who pledged allegiance to ISIS inflicted terror. New images like this empty stroller reveal the extent of that scary day. This investigation now an important part of a global effort to rein in the threat of terror. In Washington, I'm Sunlan Sarfati.
Secretary of State John Kerry plans to meet with France's foreign minister and president tomorrow to reiterate America's support for the French people and the nation's ongoing commitment to provide whatever help is needed. The U.S. House has responded to what Republicans call an unconstitutional overreach by President Barack Obama by voting to overturn the president's actions on immigration. By a vote of 236 to 191, the House has passed a bill that would roll back executive actions extending temporary stays of deportation to some 4 million immigrants in the country illegally. It would also undo an earlier program that provided work permits and deportation protections to immigrants who arrived illegally in the U.S. as children. The bill faces tough prospects in the Senate, as well as a veto threat from the president. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice says a bus skidded off an icy highway overpass, killing 8 prisoners and 2 corrections officials. Police say the bus slid down an embankment in Penwell and collided with a passing freight train. 5 other people were taken to the hospital. The train's 2 crew members were not injured. Chipotle has taken pork off the menu at hundreds of its restaurants. Find out why in WKYT Money Watch.